Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to our show. We really appreciate you. William Samoei Ruto received a very special invitation to go for a state visit in the United States of America. This was big, and the Kenya Kwanza team was very happy about this. The family was very happy because the invitation by the one of the most superpower countries is really a very prestigious accolade that any African president would be happy about. Of course, that invitation has really elicited a lot of reaction from both the Zimio and the Kenya Kwanza team, and the Kenya Kwanza are really bragging that William Ruto is a special one. The reason of this invitation was because US and Kenya are celebrating their 60th anniversary of diplomatic ties, diplomatic relationship. Kenya and US have been enjoying their relationship for over now 6 years, and they wanted to mark that 60th anniversary in style. That's why William Ruto was given this invitation. Now, apart from that invitation, there was a request that was made by Democrats. You know that Joe Biden, who's the president of the US, is a Democrat. He defeated Donald Trump, who is a Republican. But the Speaker of the National Congress there is a Republican. So apart from the invitation that Joe Biden gave to William Ruto for a state visit, there was another request that was made that I want us to look at. It was said that US Congress receives formal request for President Ruto to address a joint session. And it further reads that a formal request has been issued to the United States Speaker of the House of Representatives and Republican member of Congress Mike Johnson, urging President William Samoei Ruto to address a joint session of Congress. In the letter, House Foreign Affairs Committee member Gregory Meeks and Committee Chairman Michael McCall sought to have President Ruto address the joint session of Congress or about the 23rd of this month. And the letter reads as follows: "We are writing to respectfully request that you extend a formal invitation to the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, to address a joint session of Congress on his official visit to the United States." The letter read in part. So the members of the Foreign Affairs Committee, the chairman and one member there, had written to the speaker. They wanted William Ruto to address a joint Congress sitting. And the speaker, who is a Republican, had this letter on his table and he has been looking at it and giving consideration. So today, or Saturday today, the speaker gave a verdict on the very letter that he received. And it is not one that would please William Samoei Ruto, because after scrutiny, we are given another news that Speaker Mike Johnson declines Ruto US Congress address request. He has refused that. And we are told that the United States House Speaker Mike Johnson has turned down a request by top Democrats for President William Ruto to address a joint session of Congress. The request to address the joint session was made by the US House Committee of Foreign Affairs in April, which formally requested Speaker Johnson to invite President Ruto to address a joint session of Congress, potentially giving the Kenyan leader a new podium to promote his ideas. Now, in his statement, Johnson's deputy chief of staff, Raj Shah, said that the speaker's decision to decline Dr. Ruto to address lawmakers was due to scheduling constraints. That is what he said, scheduling constraints. And this is what he said: Speaker Johnson welcomes President Ruto to the Capitol. We have offered the Kenyan embassy over 90 minutes of engagement, including a one-on-one visit with Speaker Johnson, a bipartisan leadership meeting with Speaker Johnson, Leader Jeffries, and committee chairmen and ranking members, and a bicameral meeting. Unfortunately, due to scheduling constraints, we could not accommodate a request for remark before a joint session, he said. So basically, he refused. He was saying that it involves. In fact, it says that according to Shah, a joint session consumes a lot of energy on Capitol Hill. The chamber closes for hours, security headache, and the House leadership loses a large chunk of the day's floor time. So they're saying that security constraints and a lot of time is wasted. And I want you to note something, that they are saying basically that this would be a waste of time. That's what they're saying, that the House leadership loses a large chunk of the day's floor time. So meaning that when William Ruto, if at all William Ruto was given a chance to address them, according to the speaker, it will be a waste of time. And the last one that I want you to understand, this is not the first time that they have invited leaders to address a joint congress. One of the people who were not very happy with this said that the Republican leadership has invited Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, President Isaac Herzog, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and President Yoon Suk Yeol to address a joint meetings of Congress during their official visit to the United States. And I see no reason why President William Ruto's upcoming state visit should be any different. So according to them, they have taken issues with the speaker, because they feel that the speaker has unnecessarily denied William Ruto a chance to address them. Remember, the first African that addressed a joint congress was Ellen Johnson Sirleaf 18 years ago. And they gave her time. And of course, you've seen people who have been given time to address a joint congress. And one thing still lingers in my mind, that they are saying, the speaker is saying, that due to security constraints and the Congress would waste a chunk of time, that if William Ruto addresses that joint Congress, it will be a waste of time. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? We want to delve deeper into this discussion. Before we do this, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel. Click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you. We thank you for your unwavering and continued support to our channel. Ladies and gentlemen, what does it mean? Because one, this has really dented William Ruto. They had been very happy. People like Dennis Itumbi. I saw lawyer Ahmed Nasir bragging that indeed William Ruto has received a very big invitation that he was going to address a joint congress. If you ask me, because you've realized something, the government is formed by Democrats, led by Joe Biden. That's why you have Meg Whitman, who is a Democrat, bullying her way and controlling whatever the US wants in the country. But the speaker is a Republican. Now, what does it mean? Number one, the speaker and the Republicans do not see any significance of Ruto's address to the joint chamber. For example, if Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was given a chance to address a joint congress in the US, it was because of her significance. One, Ellen Johnson inherited a country that had been rocked by civil strife and an aftermath of post-election violence. Those people had killed each other for years. But when this very able lady got to power, she united the nation, and she worked so hard to finish and to ensure that there was no any fight. She invited all the stakeholders. She talked to the people that it was time to reconstruct the nation, and it was big. And the whole of African nation continent saw her efforts, and she was given many accolades, and she's been recognized for that. But let me ask you, if William Ruto would be given that chance to address the Congress, what has he achieved in Africa? What has he achieved in Kenya? What will be the significance of William Ruto's address to the joint Congress? And that's why I'm telling you that the Republicans do not see any recognition, any significance of William Ruto to allow him to address a joint Congress. That is what they are saying, that it will be a waste of time. Number two, they don't hold him in high esteem as he thinks. You know, William Ruto has thought that he's the blue-eyed boy in the US. It is true that Joe Biden really likes William Ruto. You've seen the kind of recognition William Ruto has received. But they're just misusing him. You know, the Republicans do not hold William Ruto in high esteem. It is only the Democrats who are misusing him, and they know as such. The Republicans also understand the game that is being played by Joe Biden, because William Ruto has been placed significantly there to perpetuate and orchestrate Joe Biden's ideas. That is why the first time he got to power, there was instruction to remove all the subsidies, instruction to lift the ban on GMO, instructions to ensure that we now become slaves to the IMF with all the loans, instructions to allow LGBTQ, instructions to sell our food corporation, our state corporations, including the Kenya Seed Corporation, instructions to take 1,000 soldiers to 1,000 policemen to Haiti. And Republicans understand, they have seen the cries of Kenyans, because our president has become a darling of the West. And this dalliance is not symbiotic, it is one-sided. The US gains a lot. They're looking for their market. So the Republicans understand that William Ruto is just but a conduit of US extended leadership. We are being governed from the USA. So they understand this, and that's why they didn't find it any beneficial to allow William Ruto to address them. And they know that the US, under the leadership of Joe Biden and the extended power of Meg Whitman, are just but trying to ensure that their interests are taken care of against the chagrin of Kenyan leadership. Ruto should pray, ladies and gentlemen, that Joe Biden wins their next election. Because if that election will be won by a Republican, then all these accolades will go down the drain. Because Republicans seem to understand that William Ruto is being used. They seem to understand how he rose to power. They seem to understand what they are doing to perpetuate the illegalities from the USA. So William Ruto must pray that in the next election, the US presidential election, it must be won by Joe Biden. Because if it does not, in any case a Republican will win, I can assure you that William Ruto might find it very difficult. I wonder whether he can make it in 2027, because a Republican will not entertain this kind of jokes that are going on between Kenya and the USA. And this has really dented William Ruto. It is humiliating for a speaker to say that if you are given a chance to address a joint Congress, then it is a waste of time. The Congress is going to waste a chunk of time. And that means that it is not useful for them. They do not see any usefulness for William Ruto to address them. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen, but to me, that was really humiliating.